everyone, I am Charisch Luardo, and today I am going to be your expert in using Zeemaps. This morning I will be sharing to you its features, possible applications in classroom, and the step-by-step utilization of this educational app. So again, allow me to share and discuss the important facts and information that you all need to know only here on Zeemaps, an interactive map that leads the way in just a snap. So in today's 21st century, we all know that the fast-paced world of modernization has been very evident in our world, most especially in our lives. A great example of this are those platforms that are created to give people a seemingly easy experience, such as those apps that can give people directions, having a great picture of the world, and taking on a journey for themselves. When we think about these applications, we might be thinking instantly of Waze, Google Maps, and other mapping services. But for today, our focus is all about Zeemaps. So for those who have been wondering of what Zeemaps look like, this is the logo of Zeemaps. And I just want to highlight that Zeemaps can be accessed through modern web browser through your desktop, tablet, smartphone, may it be Android or iOS. But first, let's answer this question. What is Zeemaps?
Zeemaps is an enterprise-class mapping service. It allows you to easily create, publish, and share interactive maps. You can construct dynamic visualizations of geographic information, producing maps from your list of locations, and create dynamic displays of geographic data.
When it comes to functionalities, Zeemaps offer scalability, colored regions, print images, and can also serve as a trip planner. So at this point, I think that we are now ready to explore and dwell more on knowing the steps on how to use Zeemaps. So let us dwell more on our topic by knowing how to use Zeemaps. First is that we need to enter the URL or the address of the web page on the address bar, and you can save this URL presented in the screen for your future reference, or either way you can enter zeemaps.com for you to be redirected on its homepage. And this is the homepage of Zeemaps, and as what you can see in the upper right corner, you can see the sign up or sign in option. You either press sign in or sign up depending on your circumstance. So if it happens that you already have an existing account and it is not your first time in visiting Zeemaps, you just need to press sign in and supply the needed information with the email that you've used and your password. And if it happens that it is your first time in using Zeemaps, the sign up button is for you. You just need to provide your email, password, and check the box indicating that you agree to their terms of services. In my end, I already have my account on Zeemaps, so I'm going to press sign in. I just need to enter my email and then my password. And then click sign in. So after signing in or signing up, you will then be redirected to the home page of the Zeemaps. This is what it looks like, and we have there the options to either create a map or map my spreadsheet. And we can see the difference of the two later after we explore these two parts. So first, let's explore the create map option. So after we press the create map option, a dialog box will appear. This is what we can see, and we need to fill out the necessary information. So first, we have the name. I'm going to say office location, the description, and the starting location. So after we fill out, we press the create button. But first and foremost, here in the create map button, the main function of this is solely about creating a map. But before that, we need to add informations that are needed first. So we have there the name, the description, and the starting location. And if it happens that you're using Zeemaps for school-related activities wherein your teacher allows you to use Zeemaps to show important locations of historical events, you can add formal or more informative text in the description part. In the starting location, I advise that it is much better that we input a more general location depending on the country or place that we prefer. So after completing that, you just need to press the Create button. And as what you can see, we have there the map of the Philippines. These are the informations that we've got to input earlier. We have there the office location together with the description that will serve as a title of our map. Here in the upper corner, these are the tools that we can use to edit or create our map. Also, depending on our preferences, we can also zoom our map through the signs, this positive sign, or zoom out in this negative sign. And if you also want to change the landscape, we can either choose in map, in a terrain form, or in a satellite form. So now that we are done on making the title of our map, let's dwell more on its functionalities and tools that we can use to edit or create our map. So as what we can see here, there are a lot of tools that we can use, but since we're using the free plan or the basic plan with no subscriptions, we can already expect that we can't use all the tools in Zeemaps. We can only use those tools available if you're using Zeemaps with subscriptions. There are a lot of tools offered by Zeemaps under the map options, the view options, additions, bulk edits, deletions, and print or share. In order to avoid confusions, let's discuss first the basic tools that we should know in using Zeemaps that will serve as our great foundation of knowledge. First is that let's use Zeemaps marker to add location, and we can see that tool under the additions. We have there add marker simple and add marker detailed. In add marker option, your marker will serve as an indicator to easily highlight or recognize the place that you are locating. And in adding a marker, it is not just about purely adding a marker, because we can also add informations that is associated with that marker. First, let's explore the add marker simple. We can input there simple informations like as what we can see, we have the entry name, the location, and description. We also have options to add your photo, and you can also choose the color of your marker and then click submit to add your entry, and as easy as that, the informations will be reflected in your map. So as an example, my entry name would be office location. Here, let's have a specific location this time. We need to have the specific location since we are now creating the exact map of the location that we want to highlight. In the description, okay, then I'm going to choose a photo if I would like to associate a photo in my marker, and also I would choose my marker in color red. Then after, I'm going to click submit. So as simple as that, we now have our marker right here, and this is what will appear after we click submit. And if we press that marker, it contains the information that earlier we enter with the photo, description, location that the marker represents. Next is that if we want to add a marker in a much more detailed way, under additions again, add marker detailed is what we are going to use. We just have to press add marker detailed with much more detailed informations that we can input. There we have informations about location. Then in a details section, we can add description, your email, phone, and website if you have one. Then in the media, we can add photo, audio, URL, or YouTube video. Then after that, click submit. So as an example, entry name would be my home. And I would provide a specific location. Then the marker that I will use will be red. And then in the details section, the description would be, and in the email, I will supply my email. Then in the phone number, and in the media, if I want to add a photo, for example, I would choose a photo. Like this is just an example. And there, as reflected, there is the photo that I've chosen. And since I don't have any YouTube video, so I would leave that blank. Then after, I just click submit. And finally, as reflected in our map, now we have the latest marker with more detailed informations on it. And if we press that, these are the informations that we have input. And as what we can see, it has a picture on it, a description, and email, and a more specific contact details. So now let's go to other supporting details of Zeemaps na pwede natin gamitin. Unahin natin dito ay sa map section. And under the map section, may makikita tayo dyan na create new, which is hindi ko na further ipapakita kasi madali lang siyang gamitin. Kapag pinindot yan, babalik ka na naman sa homepage at uulitin mo na naman yung process natin kanina para makabuo ka ng bagong map. So dito na tayo sa legend. Sa may part ng legend, ang makikita naman dyan ay puro markers. And as what you can see, yung red lang yung may check, since yun lang yung ginamit natin na color kanina sa pag-add natin ng marker. So probably, if we also use these other colors in adding a marker, we can also see a check on it. But since we only use the red markers, and it is just the only one who has a check. Next naman ay yung tools na marker fields. Descriptions, email, phone, website, and any necessary informations also has check since we want it to appear on our maps. But if we don't want it to appear on our marker, then we just click this in order for it to be erased. And another tools that we can use is the marker icon. If we press the marker icon, basically it is just about all of the markers in your map. In this tool, you are free to adjust the size of your marker in here in the reset button. At kung ayaw mo naman ng marker and you just want a picture instead, you just need to choose file from your device instead of a marker. A photo will appear. Next in the map section is a print option. If you're going to press the print option, you will be redirected to another page. And if you press this print, what you can see is a PDF document of the map that you have created. And these are the details of that document. If you want to choose a destination, the page, the layout, the color, you're free to adjust this one. And after that, you just need to press print. Next is the reserve groups. In reserve groups, if you will be sharing your map to other people para they can edit, you can add limitations to them on what color of the marker can they only choose. And in this one, I choose the red, in which if I want other people to edit my map, they can't use the color of the marker, which is red. And the remaining colors will only be accessible to them. And after the reserve groups, also, we have Save as CSV. Now, in Save as CSV, its function, it's all about downloading an Excel file. And that Excel file consists of all the entries that you've added in your map. And this is a downloaded CSV file. If you're going to click that, this is the file that will appear consisting all of your entries that you have inputted in your map. Next is, we have the Style option. And in this option, it's all about the landscape of your map. If you want it to be in silver, retro, dark, night, aubergine, or if you want to custom your landscape. We also have the switch map. In switch map, what is being reflected there are the history of entries that you have inputted in your map. So if you want to edit another map, you just need to choose from your history of maps that you have done before. So if gusto mong mag-switch, pipili ka lang sa mga existing maps na nagawa mo na before. Now let's move on to view option. Under ng view, if you're going to press that, meron diyang nakalagay na export CSV file. It means that if you want to download an Excel file, you're just going to press this one and automatically an Excel file will be downloaded to your computer. And then in the distance ruler, or if you want to measure the distance of a certain place, it is to another. You can use distance ruler. So for example, you just have to click distance ruler. Okay, what you need to do is first you need to press the start button and then click marker to indicate your starting location. Now take note guys that you can't use the distance ruler if you're not able to upload or create a marker on your Zeemaps as an indication of your starting point and your destination. So for example, this will be my starting point, my home, the address of my home. I'll press that and I will drag my cursor to another marker indicating my destination. So like that. And then automatically, it is now being reflected in the distance ruler dialog box. So for example, I measure the distance of CVSU General Trias campus to my home, and as reflected in straight line distance, it is 3.15 kilometers or 1.97 miles, and in route distance, it is 4.97 kilometers or 9.36 miles. And right now, let's go to additions. Under additions, we can see the add marker simple and add marker detailed. And we already explained that earlier. Next naman is another important function of Zeemaps is annotating a map. Now, it's basically just if you want to add a text to your map instead of a marker, or a text and a marker at the same time, just press annotate map. Okay, first, in order to annotate map, you need to press your marker like that. And then, automatically, a dialog box will appear indicating the annotation that you want to input. So for example, the annotation that I want to input is, and the color of my annotation will be red. And the size, I also have the option to choose for a size. I will just going to adjust and then click submit. Annotation added, and as what you can see, we have our annotations right in the marker. So moving forward after annotation, if you want to create a route, just press create route and then just click start and click the marker as your starting point, and it will be reflected here. Then in the end, you just have to click this, the marker as your destination. Then after that, you just need to click show for a route to appear, and as what you can see there, a route is now reflected. So next naman is the bulk edits, and as what you can see, it is only the change sum markers that we can make use under bulk edits because that tools with stars there requires the upgraded version of Zeemaps. So in change sum marker, it is a tool where we can edit the informations inside our markers. For example, if may mali kang nalagay at gusto mong baguhin, itong option na ito ang gagamitin mo. If you're going to press that, as what you can see, if you want to change the color of the marker, change the description of your marker, your email or phone, this is a perfect tool for you. So next is the part of the deletions. If you're going to press that, it is all about deleting all of the entries that you have inputted in your map. Now, if you want to delete annotations, just press delete annotations that is placed on your map. just press that maps. Now, if you want to delete that, simply we just need to check this box, click submit, and as confirmation, are you sure you want to delete the annotation? Click yes. And eventually, as simple as that, the text or the annotation that you have inputted earlier has been deleted. And the same way with delete image overlays, if you want to delete the image that we have placed in our maps, we can also use this, as well as the others function. Under print or share naman, okay, if you want to share the link or URL, just copy the link provided there. You just have to press share link and URL, and these are the URL provided. Link or URL in a longer version or link or URL in a shorter version. It's up to you on what you're going to choose. Now, if you want to share your map in a specific person, you need to press share with. And what you can see there, you have the admin, member, and viewer. You just have to supply their individual email address for the map to be redirected automatically to them. Also, here in the publish website, the same process, copy mo lang din ang URL na nakalagay dyan, which is this, and paste it to your website. Now that we are done explaining the context of create a map option, let's now go to the map my spreadsheet option. So let's go back in the home page. Okay, we have there the map my spreadsheet option. We're going to press that. And sa baba, there we can see the choose file. And the file that we need to choose is an Excel file containing the informations and locations of your entries or lists. Okay, if you're going to press choose file, we have here, this is the Excel file that I want to input, or click that and open, and it's now here in the choose file. Then I just click submit. So to give you an idea in mind, this is what an Excel file looks like. As you can see, beforehand, inilagay ko na yung mga location, color, description, URL, website, photo, at iba pa. Now, this is well applicable if you want to add hundreds of entries to your map. Mas efficient kapag sa Excel mo muna ilagay lahat bago mo i-upload sa Zeemaps.
Now that we are done on familiarizing ourselves on how to use Zeemaps, it is now time to apply what we have learned on the possible application of Zeemaps inside the classroom. Primarily, since Zeemaps is all about locating places and putting information in the map, one important activity that we can apply inside the classroom is an activity that will serve as a reinforcement of learning for students and engaging them in a much more creative and innovative way of learning. So the question is, as future educators and as pre-service teachers, how can we make use of Zeemaps inside the classroom? In this technology-driven world, let's think of a scenario where we as pre-service teachers would want to test and harness the skills of the students when it comes to correct sentence construction or paragraph through writing a short story, essay, or any form of literary composition. So as an activity, the English teacher will assign the students a task wherein through the use of Zeemaps, they need to create a map about their dream destination or any places that is important to them, and each places should be associated by a marker, and the description part should contain the reasons on why they pick that place or any insights that they would want to share in the class. They are given free options on what way would they express their thoughts, may it be through a poem, short story, or any kind of literary pieces. They're also free to explore Zeemaps on what possible elements that they want to add, making use of its tools and functionalities in order to make their output more creative and comprehensive. After completing all the tasks, students will publish their map and then submit it to the intended Google Classroom.
Well, this activity seems interesting, right? Now to make it more clear, I will going to show you on how you're going to do it. Please listen carefully and apply this step-by-step utilization for you to accomplish your task. So first, we need to go to Zeemaps homepage. Just type in the address bar zeemaps.com, and after that, either press sign in or sign up for us to be redirected on our map. It's basically just the same process of what we did earlier. And after signing up or logging in, just press the create map button, and don't forget to fill out the important information because this will indicate the title of your map. Please remember that. And as example, I will name my map the place where I can call home. After giving it a title, I will now go to the description. And don't worry, because this is not the description yet where you would input your activity. So in this part, putting one sentence or even a paragraph would be highly acceptable. Next is that depending on your choice of location, may it be your dream destination or a place that is important to you. Based on our instructions, I would advise that you would input a general place for that location. Okay? So much better if you'll start with the country for that place of yours. And in my example, I would place there the country Philippines, probably because this is my home. Then right after, I will now press the create map button to start working on with my map. Philippines. I will click Philippines, and in the description, I would say, you can call this place my home. Okay, after that, I will press the create button. So since we are now inside in the actual Zeemaps, it is very evident that there seems to be a lot of tools that we can use, right? And it seems to be confusing, but erase that worries of yours because we would only use one important tool to successfully accomplish our task. What you need to do is that you just need to press the addition section. And under it, you can see the tool of adding a marker in a detailed and simple way. And in this section, it is your choice if you're going to go with a detailed or simple. But in my example, I will use the detailed way. So we just need to press the add marker in a detailed way. And as you can see, after pressing it, this dialog box will pop up. And it's now your time to start doing your task by filling out the needed information. And please, don't forget to supply the name of your map and the description where you're going to type or key in your short story, poem, or any other type of literary composition that you want to create, relating or based on the place that you choose to highlight in your map. So this will be the name of my map, my example. And here comes the actual work where I decided to share the story behind the place that I choose on why I call this place my home. And after that, please don't forget to double check your work for checking any grammatical errors, misspelled words, punctuation marks, or any issues that might affect your final score. So let's now do our activity. In my entry name, I will say, or the title, I would say place where I can call home. That will be the title of my essay. Then in the location, I will provide the place that I prefer. I will click in my hometown since it is the place where I can call home. There it is. And I will choose the marker purple. Then how about in the details? This is the part where I am going to key in my essay based on the task that was given. So I will type here. Here, as you can see, nakalagay na dyan ang essay na ginawa ko. And if I want to associate also my email, my phone number, and my website if I have one, we are also very free to supply any informations. But for me, these informations are all okay and I think we're good to go. So I am going to click submit this time. Now it is being indicated that your entry is now added. Let's press this close. And we may also supply an aided information on our output. We just need to explore and try to think outside of the box through the use of Zeemaps. And as what we can see here, this is the marker that I input in color purple, and if I'm going to press that, automatically the informations and the description or the essay that I've written or input earlier is now here. And if I'm going to submit this to my teacher, if my teacher would going to press this marker, then automatically he or she will view my work. So this is the title in here, Place Where I Can Call Home. And after we create our map and accomplish the task, what we need to do is to publish it through pressing the print and save section. Here, print or share section, we just need to press share or link URL. We just need to copy the URL of our map and pasting the link on our Google Classroom for us to submit our work. This is the URL that we need to copy. It is up to us on what type of URL we're going to copy. Is this the longer one or the shortened one? So I'm going to choose the shortened one. I need to copy the URL. So after we have copied the URL, it's now time to submit it into our Google Classroom by pasting the link. So let's go to Google Classroom. This is where we are going to submit our assignment. Add or create, and we need to press link to paste the link. Add link. And press hand in. So that's it, guys. You have successfully submitted your work. And do remember that this activity will be graded with the rubrics Creativity 10 points, Originality 10 points, Grammar 10 points, Coherence 10 points.
So that's it, guys. It is now your turn to do the task. I hope that you have learned something from me today in our discussion about Zeemaps. Indeed, the advent of technology has really come a long way, empowering the educators to create innovative learning experiences inside the classroom. Because the more students are engaged, the more that they can learn, and the more that they can achieve. So that wraps up our discussion for today. But before coming to an end, I would like to leave this quote from Beverly Sills, saying that there are no shortcuts to any places worth going. So just hang in there, have faith, and you'll never know that your next move will lead you to be at your destination. Thank you for listening. This is once again Charisch Luardo, and happy learning.